the bus stop in Chefchaouen on a very rainy day, ready to hop on and bus through to Fez, which will take about 4.5 hours.
This is the dar that we're staying in. It's a share house and it's got a sort of shared living area. This is where we would usually have breakfast, but the restaurant's closed at the moment. And then there's a few rooms which are all up there. So we'll go upstairs. And then this is our room. Excuse the mess, but it's very colourful. And we've got a window into the wee living area there. Then the bathroom, you guessed it, tiled as well. That's the fountain. And there's our shower. Wee little room. There you go.
Mixed meat platter. This is lamb chop. This is mixed meat kebab, I think. This is chicken, and I think this is camel. It's all delicious.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are about to go do our first walking tour of Fez.
Very excited for this one.
I think this is our meeting point. Agent.
Fast facts. Did you know ... Fez is the oldest imperial city in Morocco? It was the first capital of Morocco. Population of 2,350,000 in the Medina. Oldest working Medina in the world. Largest car-free city in the world. There are more than 9,000 streets.
Just kidding. I'll save you from that horrid voiceover. So we started our tour with our guide called Abdul, and he took us through the city of Fez, starting in the 18th century. So what we're about to show you is going to go back in time while Fez expanded all the way back to the 14th century. So we started in this residential area. He was showing us how the buildings were built about 2 stories high. The locals did not trust to build any higher with the clay materials. In the Muslim culture, they also really value their privacy, so as well with the buildings being quite modest, inside might be quite nice and probably show more of their wealth. So a lot of these buildings also you'll see have very small windows, and that's because of the privacy that they value. And these windows also are staggered, so you never see a window that's directly opposite another window. The windows are also very small due to that reason. Another fact about the windows is that you'll notice that they're all above head height, and so it's not like our buildings or houses where you can see right into the lounge. So again, that's another note for privacy. And then there are also these wooden windows around with small slots So this would allow women to be able to stick their head out and call out to their husbands or friends without being seen. There are also keyholes on the bottom of these windows because when it was really cold, perhaps the women didn't want to come down without the hijab on to open the door, / maybe they were just lazy, and so there's a little keyhole where they can lower a key to the visitors down below. We also learnt quite a lot about the residential doors. So often there would be a larger main door and then a small door like further down. So a lot of the time it would be because, say, if the men go out to work and the ladies were at home, and then they didn't have their cover or their hijab on, but the men had come back home, the men could sneak back into the back door, which would just lead straight to the bedroom without disturbing the females. In terms of the main door, so if the females are at home, there's a way for them to distinguish who was at the door. So each door has 2 knockers, a smaller one for women or family. So that would usually be, I think, at the top maybe, and then there's a larger knocker which makes obviously a louder sound. And so men or people not known to the family would use that one. So when the large knocker would be used, a woman would typically not come and open the door, and the men or a man inside the house would come and open the door. Or it would also allow, if the woman was home alone, it would allow her time to go get her hijab so that she could open the door. So what's inside these houses? A lot of houses are called riads. So to distinguish between a riad and a dar is that a riad would have a garden within, and so that's sort of like a courtyard but with a garden inside the house, and again it's so that the women can sort of relax inside their homes without their hijab on. A dar would be just similarly just a guest house but doesn't have a garden, so that's how you distinguish between the two. We are currently staying in a dar, which you would have seen in the clip of our accommodation. There's kind of like a shared living area in the middle, and there's many rooms up above. So again, in their culture, these houses are quite big and sometimes can house 20 to 30 people because traditionally the son would have to live in the home, and then so his family, whoever he gets married to, and his kids will also have to live in the home. So if the parents had multiple sons, then obviously that's multiple families having to live together in that one house. So as you may be able to tell, there are a lot of twisting roads through the Medina, which makes it quite easy to get lost. But we learnt that there are symbols to look out for which act as street signs. So a rectangular street sign or a square street sign would show that there is a road that you can go through, but if there's a hexagonal sign, then that shows that there's a dead end. There's also these mosaic like pointers, I guess. So the one that's with the triangle that you can see shows that there's a water fountain nearby, and you'll find that sort of immediately. But if it's a circular mosaic sign, that means there is a water fountain, but it might be a few blocks away. Through the Medina, there are a mix of quite narrow and then quite wide streets. So we learnt that the narrow streets are really good for defense against enemies. So essentially, once the enemies run down the street and they see a wide street and a narrow street, the wide street might be quite inviting to them, and those streets are purposely designed to lure the enemy away from the centre. The streets that are quite narrow concentrate the intruders into a single file, and that smaller street usually then ends in a trap. So as you can see, Fez is actually known for its traps. If intruders did get through, they would find themselves in that narrow corridor to be stabbed through holes in the walls or have boiling oil poured on them from up above. So these are quite nasty traps. And those are our facts. So we'll leave you with the rest of the Medina that we walked through, ending with the tannery.
Oh my word. What does it smell like, Kaz?
Minty fresh. So if you had them shoved up their nose.
Yeah. See more of Karen's favourite thing. Walls!
4 walls!
Going up to the viewpoint over there. This is the bus station down here, we think.
تليفونه غادي يعاونكم دابا نعيط لكم
No table? Okay, for dinner I got a chicken pastella, which is a dish that I've been wanting to try in Morocco. It's like a phyllo pastry. It's actually savoury inside, and traditionally it's just got pigeon meat, but nowadays they've got chicken and fish. I've got the chicken one. On the outside is a dusting of, I think, icing sugar and cinnamon, so it's like a sweet and savoury pie.
The tap water is not drinkable here, so unfortunately we have to buy bottled water. You can get it in these massive things. This is an 8-litre bottle, which was 18 dirham, like $3.30 maybe. So we're just using this to refill all our small bottles.
ترجع مرة شوف خلي النمرة ديالك حيت هاد المرات ما تجمعتليش راه توصل للبنك خصك تسبت
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a tea to wash it down. So we're going for a long car ride into the desert tomorrow, and so we're just getting some stuff for a packed lunch.
Nonchalant eggs.
You can buy eggs as singles. They're like 1 dirham 10, which is like, I don't know, 10 cents or something. Breads, and then we've just got some cheese and some sardines. Should be delish.
Kitchen speak.